Hello, and welcome to the 7th week of streaming the best of the Thursday Night Jazz Salon. My name is Dave Ross, and I'm a member of the Los Angeles Athletic Club. I have been, since the mid-1980s, and I'm also privileged to serve on the Board of Governors. Before I talk about tonight's stream, I want to just reference the GoFundMe site for the fund created for the athletic club employees. When the Board of Governors decided to launch the fund with the support of the club's leadership, we really had no idea what to expect. And the process has been so rewarding for us. We've quickly surpassed our original goal of $50,000, and I think we've already reached the extended goal of $75,000. We've already gotten feedback from employees about how meaningful the initiative is, makes them feel appreciated and remembered. And of course, the money itself will make a significant difference as they keep things together until the club opens. And we all hope that's going to be soon, so that we can, among other things, start up the Thursday Night Jazz Salons live again. So tonight's Thursday Night Jazz Salon Best of concert is from back in 2018, and it features a male jazz singer named Sidney Jacobs. Sidney has sung all his life, everything from R&B to opera. When he first showed up at the Jazz Salon to sit in, he was a psychologist with a practice at LAUSD, a scratch, semi-pro golfer, and married to a woman who became a Superior Court judge. Sidney's quite a package. In addition to that, he's a tall, handsome guy and about the sweetest guy you'd ever meet. When he starts to sing, it gets really exciting. Joining Sidney tonight is a wonderful young sax player, Danny Janklow, who's played with some of the biggest names in jazz, even though he's barely 30. And that includes Wynton Marsalis and all the famous people, even if you're not a jazz fan, names that you would recognize. So thank you for taking the time to watch the best of the Thursday Night Jazz stream and for staying involved virtually with the athletic club. I can speak on behalf of the Board of Governors about how much we all care as members of the club about everything we get from the club, not the least of which is such a strong sense of community. So onward we go. Enjoy tonight's stream, and thanks so much for joining us. Bye-bye.
Okay, you got it. Everybody's here.
Thank you so much. Boy, I just can't tell you how much fun this is. If any of you are thinking about becoming a jazz musician, do it. You'll have so much fun.
But you'll be broke.
You'll be broke, but you'll be happy. I know. Let me introduce the band. I think it helps to know, after all, if they're just these anonymous people, you don't have much to go on of where they've played or how good they are even. So on the piano, we've got a fellow who's played with some of the most famous jazz players all over the world. He grew up here, but he's traveled all over Europe. He played in Paris with Stefan Grappelli. Now that, you may not know that name. Stefan Grappelli is a violin player who played with Django Reinhardt back in the 30s and 40s in Paris. And he lived I think till he was almost 90. And so our piano player, as a young toddler, was able to play with Stefan Grappelli in Paris. He played with Yehudi Menuhin. These are kind of goofy names for jazzers, but how about Larry Carlton, the great jazz guitar player, Hubert Laws, wonderful jazz flautist. Do you remember the great song At Last by Etta James? He played with Etta James, so he's really played with some of the greats. It's so wonderful to have him here in the friendly confines of the Los Angeles Athletic Club, just feet away from you. On the break, if you want to come up and touch him or get a picture taken with him, the charge is insignificant. It's really so well worth it. Please give him a warm welcome on piano, Mr. Mark Massey. Well, we have usually a tenor sax player, Ricky Woodard. Ricky got stolen by Ain't Misbehavin', and so he's playing that musical. And I've been waiting for this opportunity because several months ago, a young sax player sat in with us, and boy, it was so fun. And so I was looking for an opportunity to bring him back. I was back in New York. I came back yesterday from a chance to produce a project with two jazz heroes of mine, a 77-year-old bass player who's been my favorite bass player since, well, when I was 16 years old. On my 16th birthday, my dad asked, "What do you want to do for your birthday?" And I said, "I want to go see Steve Swallow play bass with Stan Getz." That was 1966. So that's how long I've loved his playing. And he's playing with a guitar player that I would champion as the greatest guitar player in the entire world. He's a remarkable musician named Julian Lage, and they're playing a duet together. It's just so exciting. So I was back there for that, so inspired by them. And I mentioned to Julian, who plays with all these big shots all over the world, I said, "Hey, guess who's playing alto sax on Thursday?" And I told him the name, and he goes, "Oh man, he is so good." So that's coming from the big dogs. Give him a warm welcome on alto sax, Mr. Danny Janklow.
Yo, yo.
Oh, you're going to have fun listening to Danny. On the trumpet, I just finished reading Berry Gordy's autobiography, the founder of Motown. And our trumpet player, our cornet player, that's my fault. That was sloppy announcing on my part. Because as of the election, he has relinquished the trumpet. And it's a kind of quiet protest, and he plays only the cornet until better days come. And so, yeah, right? Oh, you're good people. I love you. I want to tell you, just to give you some nurturing for those of you who are having difficulty with the current state of affairs. When I was in New York, I went to the Yale Club. That's a club for people who graduated from Yale. And it's just as amazing as you might think. You know, you feel like you've gone through some gate into a rare, special place filled with rare, special people. A lot of bow ties. I felt very much at home in that regard. And I had lunch with a distinguished guy, a not just a well-known investor, but on the level of a Warren Buffett, you know, really an influential investor in this country. And I got to know him. He was fabulous. He was so sweet. And I finally got my courage up to very quietly ask him what he thought of the current administration. And I did it quietly because I felt I might be in a Republican place. Do you know what I'm saying? And that any criticism of the administration might be met with scorn. And I didn't want to be thrown out of the Yale Club on my one visit. And I loved it. He looked at me and he said, "I don't have words for how terrible it is." So that was heartening for me, that somebody who could so easily be working on the other side, and he might be a Republican, I don't know, but you know, he finds this behavior not a wonderful thing. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to spout off. Please I won't take it back, but I'll stop. And that brings us back to our cornet player. And I mentioned Berry Gordy. That's because reading about Berry Gordy, I read a lot about the great Marvin Gaye. God, Marvin Gaye was an incandescent artist. He just was, his fire burned so bright. And after playing with Duke Ellington's orchestra, after playing with the Count Basie Band as first chair trumpet for 3 years, our cornet player was asked by Marvin Gaye to join him on tour. He became Marvin Gaye's musical director. So if you love Marvin Gaye and you love all those great Motown tunes, you've already been touched by our cornetist's musicality. He went on to play with Stevie Wonder, Natalie Cole, Diana Ross. Diana Ross and Stevie Wonder had a fight over him. They both wanted him. Phil Collins grabbed him. He's been all over the world touring with the greatest players. It's a thrill every week to have him here. Please show him how much you appreciate his being here on cornet, Mr. Nolan Shahid. Wowie. Well, are you guys up for another instrumental? Okay. Yeah. So, you guys call a tune that would be fun. The fact that we got two horns together, that'd be fun for you guys to play. Now, don't try to impress each other, and leave me in the wake of your. No.
How about just like a fun like rhythm changes or something?
Yeah.
Okay. How about that?
Okay.
It's Olio.
What's that?
Olio.
Olio?
Yeah.
Oh God, that means it's fast. If it's Olio, I just write. Okay. They're very gracious. They take me on. I get to sit in the back seat of the car and go for the entire ride, but sometimes it gets a little scary.
How does it go again?
Oh, don't worry. We'll do another line. We'll do another line.
I'm trying.
What's the line?
How about I don't know why I haven't played that headphone. How about rhythm and A?
Okay. What's the rhythm?
The same thing. It's the same.
It's rhythm changes?
Yeah.
Beat half? Okay.
Yeah. Fun melody.
Okay.
Somebody count it. How do we start? Right at the
I'll count right on.
Okay.
A 1, 2, a 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3.
That was an adventure. I don't think any of you will be whistling that on the way out of the club tonight. Boy, oh boy.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I think that's a good segue really to our singer tonight. Singing. You know, everybody can sing, right? I mean, you're driving, windows up, radio on, or you're in the shower, and you lift your voice up, songs that you're familiar with, and it's so much fun. And you know, you're pretty good. I mean, you're pretty darn good. The words come back, your voice is full. So what is it, if almost everybody can sing, that distinguishes a person who can sing in such a special way that they can be on a bandstand? And you know, when it comes to jazz, did the Peanut Gallery just, no, okay. When it comes to jazz, I think it's even more intimidating for a singer because the songs are hard to sing, and you're on the bandstand with these jazz musicians, you know, who are like, I don't know, critical. And so a jazz singer has to have musicianship above all things. Their voice isn't as important as their musicianship. And tonight we have not only a great singer, a great male singer, and a great male singer who's not interested in sounding like Frank Sinatra. How cool is that? Yeah. He has sung opera. He has sung bad R&B. But when he comes to jazz, he's like a firecracker that somebody just lit off. It's wonderful to have him here tonight. I want you to make that walk up to the bandstand a really fun one for him by giving him a big, big welcome. Mr. Sidney Jacobs.
Thank you so much. And give a great hand to just a wonderful leader, becoming one of the best leaders in the city, Mr. Dave Ross. Give him a big hand.
I wouldn't have known. You're a great man.
Oh, stop being so nice to me. Okay, so we're going to do, looks like Autumn Leaves in D minor?
Yeah.
Okay, is that good though? Do you want to start with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So just to let you know, this is actually my first time going Facebook Live. So it's right here. So say hi, everybody. I think there may be 5 people out there, but that's okay. They need love. They're sitting at home in bed. And we're just going to have a good time. Doesn't this band sound great? Yes, yes. Love it.
One time.
The autumn leaves drift by my window. The fallen leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, oh, the summer kisses, the dark brown hair that I used to hold. Now since you've been away, the days grow longer until I hear winter's call. But I miss you most of all, my love. When autumn begin to fall. The autumn leaves drift by my window, the falling leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, oh, the summer kisses, and that sun-brown hand, a baby that I used to hold. Now since you've been away, the days grow longer until I hear, oh, winter's call. Oh, but I miss you most of all, my love. Hey, when autumn leaves begin to fall. Mr. Nolan Shaheed. Dave Ross. Back and get there, sit down. Dum dum bum be de de be 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 be. Boom be de 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 sit down. Boom be de de ba 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 be do be de do de ge boom be de boom be be dum da. Be de so big up boom be de so dum bum be do dum be. Bom be be se dum do do. Bom be de do be 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 do do bo. Until leaves begin to fall. These autumn leaves drip by my window, yes, the falling leaves are red and gold. I see your lips, oh baby, the summer kisses, oh that dark brown hand, baby, that I used to hold. Now since you've been away, the days grow longer until I hear, oh, winter's cold, but still I miss you most of all, my love, oh, when autumn leaves begin to fall. Sound good, man. Thank you very much. So, the way that we look at it, all musicians that like to improvise, improvisation is composition on the fly. So you're trying to compose a whole story that you've never composed before. And that's kind of what makes this fun for everybody up here. So, Dominic, our server, our wonderful server, Dominic, this is that song that we were talking about. This is Pennies from Heaven, but things just didn't work out for this cat, man. So we're gonna do the song for you right now. It's called Pennies from Heaven.
Listen carefully to the words.
A long time ago, a second lieutenant named Spears returned from the war after being away for 3 years. His wife said, "Welcome home, dear. But since you've been gone, you see, we've been blessed with a darling baby, and a cute little one is he." She took the baby in her arms and said that Benny is his name. He said, "I've been away for 3 years, darling, can't you please explain? So I won't be so dumb Tell me, where did little Benny come from? And every time he asked, she'd say that Benny's from heaven. His face got red, but still she continually said that Benny's from heaven. He said, I asked the neighbors that come around, yet no one seems to remember a Benny coming down. He said, normally a little thing like this I generally wouldn't bother, but the itty bitty thing I know about kids, I'm sure they got to have fathers. And when he looked at the baby, he said, I can plainly see that Benny must be from heaven, 'cause he sure ain't from me. That ain't my kid right there. He said, generally, a little thing like this I normally wouldn't bother, but the itty bitty teeny weeny thing I know about kids, I'm sure they got to have fathers. And when he looked at the baby, he said, I can plainly see that Benny must be from heaven, 'cause he dang sure ain't from me. Oh, Benny must be from heaven, 'cause he dang sure ain't from me.
Yeah, Sydney.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, that's my pal. I know him personally.
Still better than anything.
Oh,
We'll just do a walkthrough, just scroll.
Yeah, it's funny on that tune. That actually hurt me to look at the change, and I was like, I don't know where I'm at. It wasn't the same song. I was like, should have
You guys wanted C or B flat?
I know this one.
C or B flat? Ah, that's a whole
Better than sailing at midnight, better than diving for pearls, better than skiing at Aspen, better than feeding the squirrels, better than finding the horseshoe, better than losing your head, better than anything I thought of, better than anything said, better than singing right out loud or being spotted in a crowd, better than anything except being in love. I'm talking about being in love. Better than 4 sets of dizzy, better than Count Basie's band, better than Rawlings and Coltrane, better than being on the stand, better than Ella Fitzgerald, better than Miles' latest news, better than Will Evans' ballads, better than Joe Williams' blues, better than seeing Lady Day, or checking in at Monterey, better than anything except being in love. I'm talking about being in love. 1, 2, 3. It's a circus. Elephants dancing, clowns on parade, are better than peanuts or popcorn or fresh lemonade, better than rides on the midway, better than seals blowing horns, better than men shot from cannons, better than freshes of corn, better than balancing on wires or watching tigers leap through fire, better than anything except being in love. Now, talking about being in love, oh yeah. Ton prix dans ton peuple en pan, qu'on qu'est ton pays en ton peuple pan. Bien ton prépa, c'est tout de pète, tout de pom 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 pom. C'est de bédou love better than 4 sets of dizzy, better than counting bases band, better than Rawlings and Coltrane, better than being on the stand, better than Ella Fitzgerald, better than Miles' latest news, better than Bill Evans' ballet, better than Joe Williams' blues, better than seeing Lady Day or checking in at Monterey, better than anything except being in love, in love, in love, in love, oh, in love, in love, better than being except being in love.
We've got one more tune before we take a 15-minute break. Isn't Sidney wonderful, man? He just rocks these songs. Give him a hand. He's just so original. Takes these songs and just deconstructs them and puts them back together again. What's the tune? Oh, how fun. We're going to do a Duke Ellington tune. And what key? Okay, it's in B flat in case any of you have your harmonicas with you. Here we go.
Right now, next to Culver City, like 10 minutes away. Downtown.
Do nothing till you hear from me. Pay no attention to what's said. Why people tear the seams of anyone's dream is over my head. Do nothing till you hear from me. At least consider our romance. of others you've heard. I haven't a chance. True, I've been seen with someone new, but does that mean that I'm untrue when we're apart? The words of my heart reveal how I feel about you. Some kiss may cloud my memory, and other arms may hold a thrill. But please do nothing till you hear it from me. Oh baby, but you never will. Mark Massey right there, Mr. Stripe here. Do nothing till you hear from me. Pay no attention to what's said. Why people tear the seams of anyone's dream is over my head. I nothing till you hear from me. At least consider a romance. If you should take the words of others you've heard, well, baby, I have been a chance. True, I've been seen with someone new, but does that mean that I'm untrue when we're apart? The words of my heart reveal how I feel about you. Some kiss may cloud my memory, and other arms may hold the thrill. But please do nothing till you hear it from me. Oh, and you never will. Nothing till you hear it from me. And baby, you never will. Oh,
Sidney Jacobs. Sidney Jacobs, man. Killing it.
the band, killing
Danny
it.
Janklow on the alto sax. On the not a trumpet, a coronet, Mr. Nolan Shahid. And Mark Massey playing with 20 fingers. Nobody's allowed to leave the room. You get 15 minutes to go to the bathroom and refresh yourselves, and then we're ready for the second set. In the meantime, you can see that we have a rather psychedelic kind of aquarium-like device up here. And that's for the tips. Now, you might think a ritzy club like this, who needs tips? But the truth is that the tips aren't the icing on the cake. They're the cake itself, if you know what I mean, for the musicians. So if you're having fun, no matter how small or how large, if you want to share in your pleasure, it'll mean a lot to the musicians. You can do it during the break very discreetly. Just a $100 bill right out of the wallet, right into the tip jar. Yeah, here comes one right now. Albert for Joni and Clark Smith. $100, setting a new threshold of pain, folks. We're going to be back in 15 minutes. Collect your money, put it in the tip jar in the meantime. We'll be right back. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Just want to make sure I've got that's off. Okay. We started with America the Beautiful, just a reminder of how it's. I don't think anybody questions that America is beautiful, but remembering what is beautiful about America is important to protect that. And then Blackbird by the Beatles, and finally going back to where it all started. Jazz started with St. James Infirmary in New Orleans. So. We've got a celebrity in the audience, and so those of you who aren't sophisticated, people of the world, comfortable around famous people, you probably should leave the room because it gets a little unnerving, you know, to be around famous people. In this case, she happens to be a nice famous person. That's a category, it's kind of like a rare bird to find a famous person who is as sweet as she is. She graduated from Hollywood High School and already had a recording contract with Verve Records. She loves to sing, and she's sung her entire career, but you probably know her more as a movie star because she's been in so many great, great movies. Among them, the Robert Altman film MASH. Do you remember MASH? With Elliot Gould and Donald Sutherland as these two rakes who basically raked the women as if they were oats or wheat. And no woman was strong enough to withstand their advances until they met the one and only Hot Lips Houlihan. And they were never the same. And the woman who played Hot Lips Houlihan and altered the libidos of every male in this country, imprinted her face and figure on their deep subliminal minds forever, is here tonight. So if your knees become weak, it's just natural, folks, because in the house is the one and the only. A warm welcome for Sally Kellerman.
Thank you all. Oh, for being here and for being such a wonderful audience. You guys back here, I have to turn around a little bit, are so wonderful also.
We're your buddies. We're
Yeah.
there for you.
No, but you're just really good.
Hey, coming from you, that's
yeah,
something.
coming from me.
Yeah.
It means not a whole hell of a lot, but and this guy back here
On
in
the
the
piano?
cap, so good, so
Mr.
great.
Mark Massey.
So I am, but yeah.
How about, would you sing a couple songs for us?
Oh well, I guess. I mean, I really hate it. So,
How about The Glory of Love?
all right, we can open with that.
Let's try.
You've got to give a little, take a little, and let your poor heart break a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. You got to win a little, lose a little, and always have the blues a little. That's the story of, that is the glory of love. As long as there's the two of us, we've got the world and all its charms. And when the world is through with us, we've got each other's arms. We've got to win a little, lose a little, and always have the blues. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. Nolan Shahid. Lose a little and always have the blues a little. That's the story of, that is the glory of love. As long as there's the two of us, we've got the world and all its charms. And when the world We've got each other's arms. Got to win a little, lose a little, and always have lose a little. That's the story of, that is the glory. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was ready to go.
Since we started up, what happened?
I was ready to continue on, and then you guys took a left turn.
Oh, we
and I had
did.
to- I
know
mean,
what?
now you have to make up for it.
We had our signal out. You didn't see. We had like our signal out.
Your signal. So I guess you.
We're ready for anything. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm just going to sing about 5 or 6 more songs, and then we're right there.
Okay. How about
Okay,
a Jimmy
what would you
Van?
like to hear?
How about a Jimmy Van Heusen song?
All right, what is it?
La da 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 da. I
La
thought
da
about
da da da
it.
da.
That one. I'm not sure what key it is.
What
but
is it? La da 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 li, da 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 da. La no, that's a little high, yeah, for me. La da 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 da. I took a trip on a train, and I thought about you. Past a shadowy lane, but I thought about you. Two or three cars parked under the stars, winding street, moon shining down on some little town, with each beam the same old dream, and every stop that we made, oh, I thought about you. But when I pulled down the shade, then I really felt blue. I peeked through the crack, looked at the track, going back to you. And what did I do? I thought about you. Oh yeah. Two or three cars parked under the stars, winding street, moon shining down on some little town, with each beam the same old dream, and every stop that we made, oh, I thought about you.
Sally Kellerman, everybody. Hot Lips is in the house.
Sally Kellerman and
And
her
the band.
backup.
And the band. Sally Kellerman and the All-Stars.
And the All-Stars. You do say
Danny,
that.
Nolan, Mark, and Dave.
Danny, Nolan, and Mark, is that it? No,
Huh?
what's your name?
I'm David,
Oh, David.
Nolan,
Nolan.
Danny.
Oh, bless your heart.
Good names, don't you think?
I think those are good names. I think you ought to keep them. It's just a
We're
thought.
gonna hang on to him.
What did
That's
you say?
Henry.
You're Henry.
Henry Gonzalez. That's Henry.
Oh, you're Henry, and you've always admired me, Henry?
Yeah.
Is this your wife beside you?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, but I didn't realize that your husband is really darling.
Everybody, a big round of applause for Sally
Yay.
Kellerman. She's so wonderful.
Thank
And
you.
let's welcome back up
Yes.
Sydney Jacobs. Come on up, Sydney. Hey, Sally, you killed it, man. You're always so sweet. You are
Thank you. Oh,
the very best. Here, you can give it to Sydney. You can just hand it right to him. Sydney, or Nolan will take it.
No, you have one. I gotta get this to say, I'd rather give it to you.
He's hogging all the microphones.
You know. All right, Sydney, let's come on. We get it. Oh, yeah. All right, it's a straight blues. Yeah, it's a straight blues. Come on, here's your mic. Here's your
Sally Kellerman, everybody. Thank you.
Which one is this?
We're gonna groove on it though. We're just gonna take a song. Yeah, it's a blues. My analyst told me that I was right out of my head the way he described it. He said I'd be better dead than live. I didn't listen to his jive. I knew all along that he was all wrong, and I knew that he thought I was crazy, but I'm not. Oh no. My analyst told me that I was right out of my head. He said I need treatment, but I'm not that easily led. He said I was the kind that was most inclined when out of his sight to be out of my mind. And he thought I was nuts. No more ifs or ands or buts. Oh no. The way that the child I appeared a little bit wild with all my crazy ideas, but I knew what was happening. I knew I was a genius. What do you say when you know that you're a wizard at 3? I knew that this was meant to be, but I heard little children were supposed to sleep tight. That's why I drank a fifth of vodka one night. My parents got frantic, didn't know what to do, but I saw some groovy things before I came to. Now, do you think that I'm crazy? I may have been only 3, but I was swinging. They all laughed at A.O. Graham Bell. They all laughed at Edison and also at Einstein. So why should I feel sorry if you just can't understand the idiomagic logic that went on in my head? I had a brain, it was insane. They used to laugh at me just because I wouldn't ride on all the double-decker buses, all because they had no driver on the top. It ain't right. analyst told me that I was right out of my head. He said I need treatment, but I'm not that easily led. He said I was the kind that was most inclined when out of his sight to be out of my mind. And he thought I was nuts. No more ifs or ands or buts. Oh no. Oh no. My analyst told me that I was right out of my head. But I said, dear doctor, I think that it's you instead, because I got a thing that's unique and new. I knew all along I'd have the last laugh on you, because instead of one head, oh no, I got two. And two heads are better than one. That was twisted.
That worked. Gave you some time.
Okay, summertime.
Yeah, gave you some. See?
I don't know the words, man. Last time you called me up to do it, I was just faking it.
So you want to do summertime, you said? Summertime. To do that? You gonna do it?
Yes, I will do it.
So I want to, then I get to play my,
I had a request for the good life too.
for the good life?
Yeah, you want to do that first?
Okay, yeah.
So, had a request to do a song that is actually on my most recent CD. The CD is entitled First Man. First Man, not the second man, but the first man. And there's a little bit of old on there, and there's a little bit of new, a little bit of funkiness, and a little bit of big band, and a lot of stuff. It all fits together. This is one of the old ones, and it's called The Good Life. I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, you want to, okay, let's do an E flat. Let's do it. Better. Yeah, here we go.
Okay, here we go, guys.
Oh, good life. Okay.
Yeah,
We'll get us walking, very slowly.
yeah.
One, two, give me a two. It's the good life. To be young is to be the ideal. Yes, the good life. You can hide all the sadness you feel. You won't even fall in love, for you can't take that chance. So be honest with yourself, and don't try to fake romance. It's the good life, to be free and explore the unknown, like the heartache when you know you must face them alone. Remember, I still want you. And in case you didn't know, just wake up and it's that good life. Hello. To be free and explore the unknown, like the heartache when you know you must face them alone. Please remember, I still want you. And in case you didn't know, just wake up and kiss the good life. Hello. Danny Jenkler, you're welcome. Okay, summertime. Summertime. Come on, young lady. Coming up here.
Thank you.
Uh-oh.
That's right. Living's easy.
Next generation.
That's about all the words I know.
I hope so.
You take this microphone, girl.
Got a second microphone.
Do you really?
Duet? Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do a duet.
Oh, duet.
Okay.
I want to win
Test, test. Summertime, and the living is easy.
you're gonna rise up singing. And you'll spread your wings, and you'll take to the sky. But till that morning, there ain't nothing gonna harm you. With your daddy and mama, oh baby, they're standing by.
One of these mornings,
Morning,
you're gonna rise up singing.
you're gonna rise up
You're
singing.
gonna spread your wings
Spread your
and take to the sky.
Oh,
But till that morning,
till that morning,
there's nothing that can harm you.
nothing's gonna harm you, little girl.
With daddy and mommy,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is JQ. Give her a big hand. She was 15 years old. And she had the courage to come up here and sing with these big boys.
So this is going to be our last tune of the evening. Oh yeah. So Sydney just called a tune. It's written about 1927, and it's played up tempo like this, even though it's actually a sad song. So don't get happy just because we're playing it fast. It's a sad song. It's a sad song, but it's a swinging song, so everybody loves to play it up. It's called Bye Bye Blackbird.
Pack up all my cares and woes. Here I go, singing low. Bye, bye, blackbird. Triple G, I like that dude. Where somebody waits for me, my sugar sweet, and so is she. Bye, bye. Bye, 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 blackbird. Now, here nobody loves or understands me. Oh, the hard luck stories they all hand me. So light the light and make the bed. I'll be coming home to you instead. Bye bye. Bye 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 blackbird. Come on, y'all. Pack my bags and here I go. Don't you know that I'm singing low? Bye bye. Bye, oh blackbird now. Well, somebody waits for me, my sugar sweet, oh, and so is my baby. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, blackbird. Now here, nobody loves or understands me. No, the hard luck stories they all hand me. Whoa, whoa, make the bed and light the light. I'll be coming home to you tonight. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye. Ba-do-lo-do-bo-dum-ba-boom-ba-dee-bee. Blackbird now. Way here, somebody waits for me, my sugar sweet and so is she. Bye bye. Now say bye 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 bye, blackbird. You see, here nobody loves or understands me. No, they don't. Oh, the hard luck stories they all hand me. So light the light and make the bed, baby. I'll be coming home to you instead. Bye bye. I said bye bye. Now blackbird, bye bye. Yeah. Thank you guys very much. Let
Sidney
me introduce
Jacob.
this band. That's
Sidney
Mr.
Jacob.
Dave Ross right there.
Dave Ross.
You got it, man.
Nolan Shahid on the cornet. Danny Janklow on the great alto sax. Mr. Mark Massey playing like he's got 100 fingers on the piano. And the beautiful and wonderful Sally Kellerman. Boy, what a night, folks. I want to thank you all. It's so fun to look out there and see your faces and your smiles, your applause. So many of you made tips during the break. We've got your names, and there's a little check next to each of them. There are a few names, though, that are just sitting with big X's, and we'd really like to switch that over. So if you have any money left after playing, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. If you have any money left after paying such modest prices for such wonderful food, validated parking. Henry? Yeah, are you going to leave your entire wallet in the thing? Don't do that. Before you do that, put some money for car fare in your.
I'll leave stocks and bonds in there.
Stocks and bonds are good. We accept all assets. We want to thank everybody for coming tonight. We're going to be back next week, the first Thursday in September, and that means the fabulous Barbara Morrison will be here singing blues and jazz. Danny Janklow is going to come back, join us again. Nolan will be here. Mark will be here. We're hoping we'll get Sally Kellerman back for a wonderful Thursday night. So thank you all so much for coming tonight. We hope you come back soon. We love having you. Thanks, everybody. Good night.